and welcome to my channel. This is Makeup by Mackenzie and I am Mackenzie, obviously. Today I'm going to be doing a product review of the new Covergirl Easy Breezy Brow Kit. This is a little eyebrow kit that comes with 3 shades that you can use to fill in and shape your brows. And so I tried it out for the past couple days and I'm here to give you my thoughts. So without any further ado, let's play with some makeup, shall we? So I don't normally do much with my brows. My brows are naturally pretty thick, so most of the time if I do anything with my brows, I mostly just fill them in. And to be honest, I use an eyeshadow to do so. I've kind of felt like because I don't really do much with my brows, there's really no point in spending money on trying a bunch of different brow products. I have tried brow pencils in the past. I also use a brow gel on a regular basis to kind of keep my brows in place. But in terms of using brow products often, I would say I don't really do much with brow products. There's not much difference between eyeshadow and brow powder. However, brow powder is designed for your brows. So the color options in brow powders are going to be more closely matched to what actual brow hairs would look like. They're also designed to last longer than an eyeshadow, but my mom, who has thinner eyebrows than I do, she does her brows every single day, and this is a product, this Covergirl Easy Breezy Brow Kit is a product that she just was raving about. She was saying how easy it was, how natural her brows looked, and she was like, it'd be really cool if you tried it out on your channel. And I was like, hey, you know, it would be cool. So that's what I've done. So in the clips that I'm showing you in this video, those are clips of the first time I have ever tried this kit. Basically what it is it comes with 3 shades, which are 3 different steps that you can use to fill in and shape your brows. It also comes with a brush, a dual-ended brush. One end is a fluffy brush and the other end is an angled brush. So I have the shade 705 Rich Brown. Alright, let's talk about what this kit claims to do. It says, an all-in-one kit to fill, define, and highlight brows in 3 easy steps. Professional brow brushes included for easy application. So step 1 is with the fluffy brush, you softly sweep the darker shade through your entire brow, starting at the inner corner and blend it outwards. So when I did this, I found that I almost needed to just do the first step. This was a very close match for my natural brow color, and I found that it filled it in really easy. I mean, basically all you have to do is swipe the brush over your brow and you're filled in. Although you do want to use a very light hand because the brush is rather large and might be a little bit difficult to use if you have thinner brows than I do. That was the only thing, is that the brush end of this, the fluffy brush end of the dual angled brush just felt a little bit too large for me, but I have to say it did. The darkest shade, the step number 1, did work out pretty well for me, and I felt like it was almost done from there. Step number 2 is you dip the angled brush into the medium shade, and then starting before the arch of the brow, press and drag upwards, then outwards. So this is basically what this is trying to do, is to get you to define the arch of your brow by following the natural growth pattern of your brows. So most people's eyebrows grow up and then start to curve over towards the tail end of your brow. And so that's why it's telling you to go upwards and then outward. I found that this step was kind of useless for me. The medium shade didn't really show up at all. It's just too light for my brows, and then once I've already filled them in with the darkest shade, the medium shade didn't really do anything. However, since the first time I've tried this out, I've actually done step number 2 with the darkest shade again, just taken that angled brush and gone in and filled in any extra spaces that I felt needed to be filled in a little bit, used it to define my brow, used it to define the outer corner of my eyebrow, just to make sure that everything is filled in the way I would want it to, and that worked really, really well. And I have to say, the angled brush end of this brush that comes in here is fantastic. It's super precise, so you can really get in there and get nice defined brows. It also feels like it's synthetic. It feels so nice that you might be able to use it for like a gel or a dip brow kind of brow product. So this brush could even be used on its own without the kit that it comes with. Now, my mom says that she sometimes will go for the darker shade to fill in her brows, but then sometimes she'll do step number 1 with the middle shade rather than using it with the darkest shade. And she said that that works pretty well as well. So if you find that the darkest shade is too dark for you, you might actually find that you can just fill in your brows with the medium shade rather than the dark shade. So I think that even though the medium shade didn't really do anything for me, I think it's nice that they provide 2 different shades in case you find that the dark shade is a little too dark for you. So then step number 3 is press the lightest shade under the arch using the sponge-tipped applicator. Sweep the color on the brow bone from below the arch and towards the inner corners of the eyes. So as you can see from this clip, this kind of was a WTF moment for me because the instructions tell you that you're supposed to start with the highlighting shade under the arch of the brow, which is exactly the right thing you're supposed to do. But then it tells you to start sweeping it towards the inner corner of your eye, which is not at all what you should be doing when you're trying to highlight under your brows. What you should be doing is starting on the arch of your brow and then blending that shade down below the tail of your brow, and that's going to give your eyes a nice lifted appearance. You could put highlighter under here, but for the most part, the highlight should go under the outer portion of your eyebrow. So it's a little weird that the instructions in here tell you to sweep it towards the inner corner of your eye. What's also weird is that the picture on the back of the box indicates that this section under the tail of your brow is what's highlighted. So it's almost like the picture and the instructions contradict each other, which is a little bit odd. I actually really do like the highlight shade, and I think it's kind of a nice step that people forget about a lot of the time. A lot of people tend to fill in your brow and then be done with it. But adding a highlight shade underneath your eyebrow really gives you that nice lifted look, gives you a little bit more space between your eyes and your eyebrows. And for somebody like me who has hooded eyes, we'll take all the space that we can get. In fact, you can use it not just as a highlight under your brow. I used it on my inner corner of the eye today, so it really is just an all-around nice highlight shade. Now, in terms of this, using the sponge tip applicator that comes in here for the highlight shade, I wouldn't recommend doing that. It is nice that it comes with a pointed end. That helps you to kind of get a little bit more precise, but I like to use something just slightly more precise. I like to use a small flat packing brush like this. I find that it helps me to get a more precise application, more blended application of my highlight shades, especially under the brow. So I would recommend not using the sponge tip applicator like the instruction tells you to do, but you certainly can if that's what you have available to you. It works. It does its job. But it's not as nice as the brush that comes with the kit, so I wish they had given you a nicer tool for the highlight shade. Overall, I felt like the steps of this were really easy to follow. Aside from the instruction about the highlight shade going towards the inner corner of your eye, I felt that the instructions were pretty thorough and really helped you to understand what to do. And I also felt like it was just super easy, super fast. They're probably the most even my brows have looked in a long time. I just felt like it was really easy to follow. So for somebody who has never done brows before, or who has very thin brows and wants to fill them in really quickly in the morning, this is a great way to do it, and I felt like this was a nice quality product. So I did my eyebrows around 1 o'clock, and then I wore it throughout the day, did not touch up whatsoever, and I came back around 10:30 at night and my brows were still shaped. They were still full, they were still even. I felt like it lasted really well throughout the day. It didn't look like they had smudged. They still seemed just as pigmented, just as filled in as they had when I had first applied them. So I'm really impressed with how this product lasted throughout the day, and it's kind of one of those things where you just put it on and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's kind of one of the things that I value when it comes to makeup, is I don't like to have to touch up throughout the day. So knowing that my brows are going to be perfect and I won't have to do anything with them, I think would be kind of like a weight off of your mind. That's one thing about eyeshadow that's different than a brow powder, is eyeshadows are meant to be softer and more blendable, which looks really nice on the eyes, but not as nice on the brows, because if you touch your brow or your brow moves around at all during the day, that eyeshadow is progressively going to blend out more and more and more, and eventually you won't have anything there anymore. Product is something that might become a staple in my routine, especially on those busy mornings when I'm just trying to get out the door to go to work. I won't use the middle shade. I'm probably not. It's a little too light for my skin tone. It's a little bit light for my hair color, so I probably won't be using that very much, but I definitely will be using the darkest shade again and the lightest shade again. I just think they're a really nice pairing and they look really nice on my brows. And I'll definitely keep using this brush. I have other brow brushes, but this one is really nice, and it's really convenient that it's all in one brush, which makes it great for travel. This little tiny compact kit, it just seems like it'd be great to just throw in your makeup bag and throw that in your suitcase and go. So yeah, I think this might actually become a staple in my routine. I'm gonna keep using it, keep trying it out. Let me know if you guys have tried this product, the Easy Breezy Brow Kit from Covergirl. I would love to know what your thoughts are, because the things that work for me may not necessarily work for you, or vice versa. I'd love to know what you guys have thought of this. I also would like to know, what other brow products do you guys use on a regular basis? What are your holy grail brow products? I'd love to hear about those. And if you have any other products that you would like me to review, or any other makeup videos that you would like me to do, let me know, because I want to do what you want to see. So go ahead and sound those off down in the comment section below. As always, I will have this product linked in the description box below for you to find. I will also have a link to my GoFundMe campaign. 100% of those proceeds goes towards making this channel the best it possibly can be for you guys. So if you really like this channel and want to help me make it better, please consider donating to that. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at MUBYMackenzie. And if you like this video, please give it a big ol' thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like it in the future. Alright, that's all I have for today. Remember, makeup has no rules. They're more like guidelines. So, you do you, boo-boo. Alright, see you next time, everyone.